Hey, everybody, welcome back to Client Side Chats. We have a very special guest who's actually going to do a series with us, Ron Gantt. Hey, Ron, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, James?
Doing well, doing well. Thank you. And just so everybody knows, you can follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn. You have those links. And of course, our website has all the past podcasts. But I'm really looking forward to this, Ron. I know we've been talking a little bit about this for the last couple of weeks about doing a series. And of course, our first topic is really going to be about advice for upcoming safety professionals. I mean, if you could distill that into one tip, have you thought about it? What would that be?
Yeah. So, wow. I've thought a little bit about this, and my mind goes in a couple different directions. But I think the most important thing that I would tell young safety professionals is really foster that curiosity, right? Because I feel like one of the things that makes a good safety professional is someone who's learning continuously and always asking good questions, right? And I think if you start off with that sort of mindset and
Uh-huh.
build that as a foundation, I don't know. I feel like that would be a really use. If I could go back and build that, that would be something I think would have helped me a lot. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think the curiosity is really a great thing. In fact, I can remember that advice from my mentor at the time saying that, if you have a curiosity, this is a great job for you because you're always looking into different things. I like how you added the whole aspect of continuing your education and always asking questions. The perspective of question asking, however, is certainly a very different thing. I mean, because sometimes we can ask questions that are very direct and almost defensive for the person receiving those questions versus the curiosity aspect of, I wonder why that's happening, right?
Oh yeah, totally. I 100% agree. I mean, too often we ask rhetorical questions, like, why would you do that? Or something like that. The funny thing is, if you take that same question and put it in a different mindset, it's
Mhm.
actually a good question that you should probably be curious about and want to answer. Why would someone do something a certain way? Maybe there's some underlying reasons or influences that we could help them manage. You know what I mean? Like, and so that mindset that you kind of pointed at, I think, is critical for question asking.
Yeah, I could think as from a curiosity standpoint, you're asking that thought of, okay, so this came up. How come this was the outcome here? What were the decision factors here that resulted in this kind of action that you took? Now, maybe, of course, you might do it in a little more layman terms, depending upon who you're talking to, but it definitely gets to the component of, sometimes, we look at this as safety professionals and we've seen a lot of things over the years, right? And we kind of shake our heads and go, how in the world were people thinking? Well,
Yeah.
that's what the curiosity is all about.
Yeah.
Finding out what you were
Absolutely.
thinking and where do we go from there?
To me, I think this is such an important skill set for us to build
Hmm.
because I feel like the incentives within the safety profession are aligned towards providing answers, right? We are supposed to be the people, hey, come help us. Is this safe? For
Hmm.
example, right? And so we are incentivized to be the people who know rather
Yes.
than the people who just ask good questions and discover and help people discover. You know what I mean? And so I think if you build that skill set early on, you because I know for myself, like I felt
Hmm.
a lot of pressure early on to be that person to know, and you're put into really awkward positions where you just can't know. And you don't really have I didn't have at that time the mindset or the even just the license to say, you know what, actually I don't know, let me take some time and go look. And so I think that's really important myself.
Yeah. Very good. Any kind of a magic that you would say that you use that you find works really well from the standpoint of asking those questions from a curiosity standpoint that would be helpful for any upcoming safety professional in our field?
I think an easy sort of tip is when they're thinking about the questions they're going to ask, like we said, hey, why would you do it that way? That's usually the question they want to have answered, but that's not necessarily the question they should ask. They should try
Ah,
to reframe the question so that it starts with something other than why, typically like what or how. I like that tip is when you reframe the question in that way, it often becomes less defensive Like instead of saying, why would you do it that way? Okay, what makes that the best way to do it? You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, or what are the different ways you could do this task? Or what did they talk about in training or something like that? You know what I mean? Then that gets at more specific things that you can actually dive into, and you might be able to do something with.
You've had good outcome with that kind of thing too?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. And even just the process of thinking about how to reconstruct the question, I find helps me even get in a better mindset of, okay, well, what are the things that could be influencing this person? And so I'm thinking about how to construct the question to get at some of those influences.
I do agree, having learned kind of through the school of hard knocks, if you will, about, gee, maybe I shouldn't ask it that way again. That's not kind of leading me to any kind of answers that I can do to help people.
Yeah,
But certainly, it definitely does make a difference how you frame that and how you use that, again, based all on your curiosity. If you have that natural curiosity, or you are a very curious person as to how things come together, you're really going to continue to dig to figure out a better way of doing things. And that's really ultimately what we're all about, and we're faced with our challenges as safety professionals, right?
absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Cool. All right. So we got that. That's great. One tip for upcoming safety professionals, up and coming, I should say, is definitely have that curiosity. I think that's wonderful. That led us right into the conversation about different types of or ways of approach with questions, and, why is it being done this way, or how can we do it better, or anything like that, I think makes such a great difference. So, all right, Ron, thank you very much. Love this. So look forward to the
You.
next item that we'll talk about, and we'll see you soon. Thanks.